Now, from New York, Minister of Foreign Affairs of Cuba, the Island of Dignity, Bruno Rodríguez Parrilla, please, go ahead. Nicolás Maduro Moros, President of the Bolivarian Republic of Venezuela. Luis Arce Catacora, President of the Plurinational State of Bolivia. Mr. Roosevelt Skerrit, Prime Minister of Dominica. Mr. Ralph Gonsalves, Prime Minister of St. Vincent and the Grenadines. Mr. Evo Morales, Aima and Rafael Correa, leaders of our America. Dear compatriots of the Bicentennial Congress of the Peoples, Mr. Sacha Llorenti, Executive Secretary, I want to transmit greetings of the first Secretary of the Communist Party of Cuba and President of the Republic, Miguel Díaz-Canel Bermúdez, that tells you we salute the brothers of and sisters of ALBA-TCP that today gather in Caracas, as 17 years ago Cuba is among you 200 years after the legendary Battle of Carabobo. Allow me to thank all the member states of the ALBA for your traditional support to the Cuban resolution against the blockade of the United States. All the gratitude of our people to the Bicentennial Congress of the Peoples for its solidarity resolution with Cuba. Once again, an overwhelming majority of the international community rejected this illegal, criminal, and genocide policy directed to bend the resistance and the victory of the Cuban people. Thank you very much for the opportunity given to us by Venezuela to join here in this ALBA Summit and the peoples of the Bicentennial, inspired in Liberator Simón Bolívar, who started the wars for the independence of our America. The Venezuelan people continues to fight an exemplary fight against the imperialism that wants to stop the work of Bolívar, forced by Chávez, defended by the Chavista people in civic military union under the leadership of constitutional president Mr. Nicolás Maduro Moros. Greetings, and I reiterate our support to the Nicaraguan people and its reconciliation and national unity government led by Commander Daniel Ortega, which have defended the achievements of the country despite the interfering actions of the government of the United States. We are happy to share this space with President Luis Arce of the Plurinational State of Bolivia, example of the strength of the peoples in their fight for justice. All our support to the rights of the peoples of the Caribbean to have a just differentiated treat, important to challenge the climate change, the natural disasters, the unjust financial system, and the new and difficult conditions imposed by the pandemic. The response of the ALBA nations after the eruption of La Soufrière volcano in St. Vincent and the Grenadines, sending humanitarian aid and health personnel, the support for evacuating the people, also in the recovery task. All that confirms the strength of the alliance and the values that inspire us. The COVID-19 pandemic have shown the division of the world and how fragile are the underdeveloped economies. How can we explain to the people that the extraordinary advances of science and this position of the scientific community of the world to face the pandemic, and that one of thousands of professionals and health technicians in all the latitudes cannot guarantee that most of humanity to have access to the medicines and to the necessary hospitalization. How could they use the speed of the communication to free the commerce of goods? Now that there is an emergency, dozens of countries put some obstacles to the export of medical issues, and the United States reinforced or strengthened unilateral and coercive measures, what was used to the creation in a record time of vaccines if dozens of countries cannot even thinking in how many years they can vaccinate their entire populations. I have to explain the families of the people who died, that those based in the neoliberal dogma reduced during decades the public function and the state function and the health budgets. The multi-dimensional crisis that we face proved injustice and the lack of equilibrium in the economic order and the absence of political will to revert the decisions that prioritized richness and wealth for some people over the lives of the human beings. Latin America and the Caribbean suffers today one of the strongest hits. In the midst of those difficult circumstances, the economic war against Venezuela strengthened, and new unilateral and coercive measures were applied against Nicaragua, a strong system of science and technological innovation, allied to the universal health system with human resources, have made possible the results that Cuba and ALBA have obtained facing the pandemic. It happened while our capabilities to import medicine, all that was affected, our strong will of building a sovereign nation, independent, socialist, democratic, prosperous, and sustainable nation is what the U.S. imperialism wants to make disappear. For that, the government of the United States imposed more than 240 unilateral coercive measures against Cuba, 50 of them in the most recent period. All of them still in force today. If the government of the United States would have, as some of their spokespersons have, interest in human rights in Cuba or in our region, they would put an end to the criminal economic blockade that they have imposed in Cuba for more than 60 years, and that want for the Cuban people to die of starvation. They can eliminate the coercive unilateral measures against sister nations and they can't renounce to the neoliberal paradigm that so many problems have brought to our people. They cannot stop the advance of ALBA, which has been evident in the commitments achieved, in the willingness of sister nations to advance, and in the relation with the people that it is an evidence here in this bicentennial Congress of the Peoples. Cuba maintained its solidarity will and of international cooperation for the benefit of our people, and it will happen that way to tackle the pandemic and the disposal of vaccines. We will not stop in our fight to defend ourselves, as 200 years was done by the brave Venezuelan soldiers. Mr. President Nicolás Maduro, please, you have the support of Cuba in the first line for the battle for life, for dignity, for peace, and for justice. Thank you very much.